exercises I'm doing. And I'm gonna type up some code, so enjoy. I'm working with arrays today, so that's pretty cool. It's my first time I've been dealing with arrays in this course. So yeah. So I'm doing this question. So yeah, enjoy. So this question, I'll be doing this question now. This question will ask me to do an array, take an input of an array of, and return a copy of the array. So I'm gonna write the code and explain later. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna create a sample array because I might use it for a test. Okay. Test array of integer. I'm gonna take a sip of water. It's near double. Just some random numbers that I come up to arrays. One integer array and one array of type double, and which holds decimal values. So these are just arrays I'll be using for when I test my methods. Alright. So this question asks me to write a method. Okay. Public static how many times number appears. So I gotta write a method that takes an input an array of type double. So something like this. Oops. And I gotta loop through the array and count how many times the second input appears on that array. So yeah, first input double array. Second input is the number that the user enters, or something. Scan would if this number occurs in the array. Int or double. Yeah, because it's a double. Okay. Okay. So to make it count, I gotta create a counter variable that counts the number of times this number appears in this input array. Okay, so int count. Oh, double. I'm gonna check the return type. Okay, so the return type will be int because this method will return an integer number. So int count equals 0. Okay, and I'm gonna write the loop. I'm gonna loop through the array while check my condition. My condition will be, or I'm just gonna, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a for loop, not a while loop. For, it's because it's easier, because all of the variables in the syntax are set up. It's I for iteration, and then we'll start at 0, loop through the array until I will be at the max index of this array. And so this loop will run until the array, the max value up to the position of the array is 1 less than the length. Okay. Okay. And then increment I plus plus. Semicolons here, just forget the semicolons. Okay. So I want to loop through the array and check each position in which it lines up with the counter variable for the loop. Okay. Take another sip of water. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna check. It's gonna make our if statement. If double array I, with each iteration it will test each index of the array equals, it's going to check if that position, the number of that exact position, is equal to the input. I'm just going to put input as the input because it's going to be clear, because number just, it's kind of vague for a variable name. If it's true, if it's equal, then increment count. And then after that, I'm going to return count. So now I think this little method has been completed. I'm going to test it out. So I'm going to try to test this method, and I'm going to take this array as an input, the first input, calling the method test array 2 because it's double array. I'm going to test for the number 2.4 since it's one of the values in this array. And I'm gonna, of course, do system.print out So it prints 1, which means this number occurs only once. I'm gonna try 20.3, and to test it out, I'm gonna copy and paste, change the values up so this appears 3 times. 20.3. And then I'm gonna test it out. Yes, 3 times it appears, so that question is done. I'm gonna take a small break. Okay, my break is, I just took a small break and I gotta do another question. Okay, this 7th question, write a method that takes as input an integer array. The method should return an int array, but the original int should be duplicated. For example, if the array given is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, the array return should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So I gotta write another method that kind of makes an array that's twice its size, and which the second part of the array is a clone of the first array. So I'm going to write a method now. Public static int array duplicate int array. I'm gonna see int array input. Okay, so what my goal is, I'm kind of gonna take some notes. Okay, so afterwards I took like some time. I just stopped recording and recorded back again, and which I took some notes. So I gotta create a new array that's twice its size. My goal is to create, take an input as an array, and then return an array that's twice its size, and it contains a clone of my first array. So like in the instructions, this is what it says. If the array given is 1, 2, 4, 1, the array return should be 1, 2, 4, 1, 1, 2, 4, 1. An array that's twice its size, so let's do it. I'm gonna create a new int clone array or something. Clone array, I would call it, equals new int array. And I think that I put some in the bracket, something in the brackets. The size of the twice the size of the original input array, so it has to be twice. So 2 times so 2 times the array input dot length. Okay, so I created a new array, it's empty, and it's double the size. And so I'm gonna do a nested for loop for int I equals 0. I is less than 2 because it will do 2 iterations of the outer loop. I increment I again by 1, increment I by 1, in which within each iteration of the outer loop, I'm going to create an inner loop, an inner for loop. Sip of water. And also, I'm going to create an outer variable, an outer int variable representing the index of the new array. Because as I loop the array, the array of my duplicate, my integer array input twice, I will not be able to use my loop counter, I guess. So I'm gonna write my inner for loop for int, for int j equals 0. J will be less than array input dot length, because this inner for loop will loop through the array of the original array, loop through the positions of the original array. Okay, and then I'm going to increment j++ because it's going to loop through each position of the array. So in each little iteration, I'm going to set the number of their array input into the new array, the new clone array that I have to return after this method. I'm not going to use j as the loop variable counter. Instead, I'm going to use new array index. And I'm going to set it to the array, the value of array input, the value of array input at position j, yj, because I'm in this loop. This loop runs through the array input. So basically, for this whole for loop is simply adding copying the array input values to the new array. Okay. Silly mistakes all the time. And I'm missing a return statement. Okay. So I'm gonna put my return statement should be outside here. Return float array. Also, I'm going to make a method that prints arrays. So let's do it. Pretty quick method. Okay, so I have taken some time. I just cut some parts because I had to create a small method to print out the whole array so that I could see the exact values of any array that I printed. So let's try it. So I created a method that creates a duplicate array. And now I want to test to see how it works, if it works or not. So now, I'm going to use this array as an input. And yeah, printed it out. Let's see if it works. So let's try it now. Int resulting array. Store in an array variable. I think I'm pretty new to arrays, so I might make a ton of mistakes on the way. So I'm going to call this method duplicate in array. And I'm going to use this array as an input. And I'm going to call print array. Resulting array. Let's try it. Okay, I think I have done this question. Let me try it again. But to see 1, 2, 3, 100, 1000, 553, 420, 69. Okay, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 1053, 420, 69. 1, 2, 3, 1053, 420, 69. Oh my gosh, I think I have done that question. One fluke. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I think I've done 2 questions, and I've got 3 more, and which will be in another video. So I'm gonna call this video off, and then yeah. So like this video if this gives you tingles by hitting that thumbs up, down below. If you're interested to see more ASMR coding homework, more tingles, hit that red subscribe button down below. And thank you for subscribing.